You have just left Larima's. You're currently standing in the alley, walking back towards the square. What would you like to do?
Vayne's semi-absent-mindedly, walking back towards the main square. He rings the
Vayne.
bell.
You okay there, buddy?
Not sure really what to do. The meeting said we were required, so I feel...
We'll reassure them that we'll pass the information along.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we could find a guard, maybe one that knows slightly more than the piece of paper in his hand. Oh, sorry. Is there a guard? Well, no, there is a guard around. Is there any other guards around?
Give me a perception check, please.
If not,
Sure.
yeah, then generally as we're walking.
Do you want to roll advantage, or do you want to roll yourself, Kato?
Advantage.
Okay. Roll with advantage, please, Vayne.
Oh boy.
I tried.
I appreciate it. I do appreciate
take a quick, switch your heads back and forth trying to find the familiar guard uniform. Even the one who was doing the town crying doesn't seem to be around anymore either.
Man, this is the perfect place to commit a crime.
10 guards flood out of
it. Yeah. Maybe I just need to look in a couple more windows and one will just show up. Okay, so I've rang the ding-a-ling-a-ling, the cartridge. Jeez, this is not a...
It's been a day. We've all fucking had it.
Carriage. Bell.
Carriage. Okay.
Ring the carriage bell and kind of just walk towards where we were dropped off effectively.
Okay.
Pondering deeply about how this is going to work.
Yeah. It takes about 5 minutes before your carriage arrives again. You see Diane not looking too happy. Her eyebrows furrow though when she sees all of your expressions. She goes, please, get in.
Thank you, Dan. I just get in.
You all hop on in.
Me.
Where to?
The Griff Quarter.
Yes, right away.
Just for 2 of us. If Vayne, did you still want to go to see Monty?
I'll do it after the meeting.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
I have to have a lot to think about beforehand.
All right.
Fair enough.
To the Griff District Quarter then.
It's more of a district.
Yeah, but
I don't think you can call it.
the list says quarter.
Yeah. But is anything in Clankamry really a quarter? Except maybe the central bit.
Well, I mean, maybe homelessness.
Yeah.
What?
A quarter of the homeless.
A quarter of the population homeless. I don't know. It's a big city.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what rent's like here.
That's
painful.
Inflation
is horrible.
If 25% of your population is homeless, that's a serious
serious
issue. Yeah, so Vayne is very much just gonna, for the duration of this journey, just gonna be kind of he'll lay his vial across his legs and just pluck the strings slowly as he's thinking. Like not really a tune, just
Yeah.
it's like a
Mindless.
soothing exercise, yeah.
Would you like a companion owl at this time?
I appreciate the thought, but I'm fine. Save your strength, magic, however.
It's a
But thank you, Rook.
it's a solemn drive over to the gates. As you're driving through the western quarter, I had to do north, east, south, west there for a second. I'm sorry. As you're
You're
driving past,
looking at it, west is left.
well. As you're driving through the western quarter, you see off in the distance a large stadium. And just in the distance, in the air, you can see a couple of airships.
Shit, we've never actually been in this quarter. I just realised.
Uh-huh.
I called it
One-
a quarter.
Yep. One appears to be lifting into the air. You see another in the distance looking will be about to land. You see ships also in the distance being brought down this river here. There looks to be like a lot of buildings about, which are probably like a shipyard of some kind, maintaining the ships. Also a number of different warehouses. It seems to be a very industrious kind of quarter. Eventually, about 5 o'clock or so, you arrive outside the gate to the Grave District. The Grave District you see is completely surrounded by wall on the inside of the river. And at this part here, you see a bridge has been previously lowered down to the street that you're now standing on. Across from you see the huge walls towering over you. You're currently just standing in this expansive shade of this long-ass wall. What would you like to do?
Did she say where in the Grave District?
She just said to meet
The gate.
at the gate. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we
Guess we'll
just
wait.
yeah.
We're about an hour early, right?
Roughly.
Is there anything in the vicinity like that looks mildly interesting?
You do take a look around. A few houses, a few storage units, you assume, and then there just seems to be like a greasy spoon down the way.
Like a pub.
No, more like a cafe
Okay.
that mainly services
I was thinking
breakfast food.
greasy spoon with the spoons.
No.
I think Vayne will just like prop himself up on like a benchy looking thing, any flat surface really, and just kind of sit there and continue to ponder.
Munch.
Wait, what?
I think someone was having a num there. We'll say it's a tense hour, but eventually it does pick up as you're, people watching. People are kind of winding down for the day now that the sun is beginning to set. And eventually you do see a carriage come towards you. And it does a bit of a turn and stops. And you see Lady Alvis walks out. Oh, I certainly hope you weren't waiting here a long time.
Not too trouble.
No, not too long.
You all look a bit down.
Well, it's been a interesting day, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, I won't pry any further. If it's something that you think I need to know about, please let me know. But if it's your business, it is your business.
Just one question. When are people normally executed?
Well,
Was there like a normal time for it?
usually within a few days of the sentence being given.
Okay. Thank you.
Her eyebrows furrow looking at you, and then she casts her glance quickly over to the rest of you.
We just heard the news that Monty is getting hanged.
My apologies, I don't know who that is.
He's
So,
close to Vayne.
yes, a close associate.
My sincerest apologies, Vayne.
Okay. Still trying to process.
Right. What's this man's full name?
Presley Montague.
Right. Well, I can have a quick look into it.
If you would.
Yes. Here, she shakes her head. We can't keep Priestess Alara waiting.
Of course.
We'll deal with this afterwards.
Of course.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
And she begins walking towards the bridge that has been, lowered down. You've just kind of been waiting about. The bridge itself leads inwards towards a rather ominous-looking iron-wrought gate. Like, the walls are tall, but the gate itself is about 30 feet in height. On top of the pillars, you see on either side of the gate, and periodically along the wall as well, where there's like a kink in like the smooth expanse of the structure. You see statues of crescent moons with a bird, looks to be like a crow or a raven, with its wings expanded out from flight, just perched on top of the lower tip of the crescent moon. At the gate, you see two of these dark cloaked and hooded figures. You've seen these people before, with the white bird beaked masks.
Yeah, they've got a really shitty teleportation system.
And large
Lovely.
lenses in place of where the eyes would be, kind of staring out of you a little bit unnervingly. One of them throws the cloak back to reveal the black studded armor beneath, and a long sword draped to the side. Oh, Lady Elvis, welcome. I see you have companions. Indeed. These are adventurers of the guild. They are to accompany me inside the Grape
I
District.
flash my ring.
You see the beaked face nods, and then it kind of like tilts his head slightly at the ring that you show. Before he throws the cloak back over himself again, covering up his sword and his armor. He goes, before entering the district, please sign the attendee book. Keep all your personal belongings on you, as you will not be able to return to retrieve them. nor will we be able to return them to you. Do not touch or take anything from the district without expressed permission from your guide. Stay with your guide at all times, and do not stray from the path. You have been warned. And he throws his hand in the direction of a book that is standing off to, kind of like set off to the side, almost like into this pillar. He lifts off like this little door and motions for each of you to sign before you walk in.
I'll sign.
Alva signs too.
Sign?
Yeah.
I'll sign. While also thinking, this is exactly the same premise as Jurassic Park.
Oh my god.
What?
Keep your hands inside the vehicle. Don't leave anything behind.
It's like a
At
roller
least you're
coaster.
thinking it.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to say it
Yeah.
out loud. Jurassic Park doesn't exist that I'm aware of.
But there are dinosaurs. God bless D&D.
Mhm.
That's a very contradictory statement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, yes.
After signing the attendee book, you see one of the Vayne figures that you know them to be called, walks off to the side, in behind one of the pillars, and you hear the crank of like chains and a wheel turning as the gates slowly begin to swing inwards with a painful creaking sound. You head inside, passing beneath the looming pillars and statues. You feel the beady eyes of the birds, the crows or the ravens are staring down at you. And
Just
Hmm?
the gates, were they like wrought iron, like bars, or was it like a solid piece?
bars.
Okay, cool.
And past you now, you can see this massive expanse of land. A mist hangs just above the ground, slowly and softly drifting over the grass. In the distance, you see eerie shapes of stone just jutting out of the mist. Thousands upon thousands of graves, mausoleums, statues, monuments. To your right, you see a path where stones have been placed onto the grass, that crunch as you walk across them. Lady Alvis guides you further into the grave quarter. The sky is heavy above you, with darkness, and there's a scent of rain in the air. Though it's surprisingly light here. There's also like this electric feel to the air. It's like a rainstorm is just about to break down on top of you. Albus directs you along the path that just seems to continue on and on and on. It's not very often that people are allowed here in the district.
Hmm.
Roshana, as I'm sure you're well aware,
Mm-hmm.
our burial practices here in Clan Cymru are quite stringent.
Yes.
As such, people are only allowed to visit here when their loved ones have buried or on anniversaries. Aside from that, they take no visitors.
Pardon if I sound ungrateful, but why are we so lucky? I mean, I don't imagine guild membership grants entry alone.
You are correct. I personally felt like you all needed a bit more of an explanation. We have been dealing with undead in this city for quite a long time. And as I'm sure you've noticed, what you saw in the public hall that day was not normal. Well, death is never normal, but you get
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Right. It's not conventional undead.
Mm-hmm. So, there are limits to what I can show you today, but hopefully this will give you a little bit more explanation.
I understand.
She goes a bit quiet for a moment, kind of just thinking to herself. As you're still walking forward, you begin to see more and more structures poking out of the fog along the inside of the wall, so like around here, as you're walking by. Large buildings, long chimneys, again, towering monuments and statues with almost angelic imagery, but it's casted in this dark stone or metal. It gives it this very unnerving quality. Looking back over the fog towards the center of the district, you see trees. Dozens upon dozens of trees making up these huge, expansive forests.
What deities deal with the grave?
Well, here in Clanconry, being a predominantly elvish city, Moonbow would have been the most predominant for a long time. But,
Do I know anything about Moonbow?
Give me a religion check, please.
Here we go. No.
Oh dear.
Oh wow.
You know that your mother had some like little effigies or symbols in her room. But you do know that she is most definitely an elven deity, and she does. It's not necessarily death, it's more so the transition. So it's bringing the spirit to its resting place is what she's concerned with, as well as knowledge and the moon, obviously, in the name. But I think you've noticed, you must have noticed some of the symbols here. Certainly not of the moon.
Yes.
You hear in the distance as looks to be a bird is just swooping overhead.
Now I'm thinking of that TikTok.
Which one?
Why do you have to be an omen for foreboding? Why can't it be an omen for lunch?
Oh, yes! I love it. Lunch. Rook kind of taps you on the shoulder, Vayne, and just points out into the fog. Do you see them too?
I look to where he's pointing.
Mm-hmm. And you see the smoke or the fog begins to swirl, and it takes forms. People. Adults.
Oh, that's.
Children. Even a few animals.
Oh, that's ominous.
These ethereal forms are just stalking through the fog. Though they don't seem to be paying you
Yes.
much mind.
I do see them, Rook.
Okay, because that one's staring. And you do
I look
indeed
at the one that's staring.
see what looks to be a young girl, maybe. Short hair is kind of just staring at you as you walk by, unblinking.
Do I recognize it?
No.
Hello?
No, you don't.
Okay, sorry. That was the longest fucking pause.
Sorry.
I guess I'll keep an eye on her.
Mhm.
As we walk.
You continue walking, and eventually you reach these larger buildings set up against the wall. One of them looks to be like a very, very rudimentary and simple temple. The only symbol of, again, that ominous-looking bird perched on like the top of the roof, kind of like chapel-esque. Wings spread, just looking down at you as you walk in, following Albus. Oh, you're here, Laura. Thank you for waiting. Sorry about that.
No problem. Oh dear. Music, no!
Oh
Oh my god, Alara killed the music. Must have drowned it.
No, it's you know that song. Bye Bye Miss American Pie. The day the music died.
Hmm.
It was today.
Oh, you're very welcome. You see, just past where Ilara is sitting in one of the pews. Very simple little, looks to be a table at the top. Kind of like not a table, an altar at the very far end. You see, just standing in front of it, the familiar figure of Imam Dufont, the gentleman who spoke to you when you came with Alvis last time, or you came to speak with Alvis last time in the Grave Quarter.
Mm-hmm. I give Alara a very unnerved wave.
Come on, sit down.
She's absolutely deranged.
Yeah.
No wonder you became a cleric.
Was that shade?
That was kind of rude.
Just you wait. Just.
Oh!
Just saying, like, yeah, you know that big woman with the big warhammer that you stood next to.
Large woman.
was not intentional shade.
That's what they all say until they get to the butcher's knife.
Oh!
I mean,
Hmm.
let's keep walking.
You all
Yes,
gather around
well.
and kind of
Yeah,
plonk
keep
yourselves
walking
down.
while you still can.
Now you still have all your limbs.
Luckily, you're in the graveyard district, so it's not far.
Oh my god.
You plonk yourself
Trying
down
not
where
to
you
choke
can.
on my tea here.
You know how I feel. Any chance I
Yes.
get a break to drink, I'm like,
Gosh. No, honestly, it went through my nose once.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Lovely.
Yeah. At least it was tea and not Coke.
oh god, no.
Yeah, the fuzziness. Oh boy.
Oh, I
Been
felt that burn
there.
again.
You plonk yourselves down where you can, rather awkwardly because you're kind of sitting on the edge of pews. Albus does as well, and you see Imam Dufont just kind of almost drifts towards you. Older elven man, extremely pale skin, just gives you a meek smile as you all approach. So, they are to learn of the Reiko then. Aye, indeed. Seems to be that way. Right. Well, I can take them if you like, or... Priestess Alara, would you like to speak with your, clergyman first? I will, I think. Roshana, if you would come with me for a moment.
Yes, of course.
And she brings you round to little door that is just past the altar. There used to be a bloody name for it. I'm a bad Catholic. I can't remember.
It's okay. I don't know either.
You're brought round anyway to this almost looks to be like a little tea room around the back.
Mm-hmm.
And she motions for you to sit down on this sofa, which this kind of plush luxury does seem very out of place here.
Mm-hmm.
But she motions for you to sit across from her. This little oval table between you.
I'll sit down.
Do you know why I've asked you here?
I suspect it has something to do with the undead things that are happening lately.
It does, in part, yes. It does indeed.
Besides that, I don't have an idea.
Well, unfortunately, burial practices in Clanconry have had to become stringent and almost morose in some ways
Mm-hmm.
to deal with the undead problem, but there is more under the sky where our saloon looks down from that casts much darkness, Roshana.
Darkness?
Well, I'm certain you've noticed that there are beings amongst us who wish good folk harm. Unfortunately, some of those beings are very much amongst us civilized folk as well.
Of course.
I'm sorry, I might have missed it. Are we with her? Is she alone?
No, she's alone.
No?
Okay, just making sure.
When you first came to the temple, I saw
Mm-hmm.
a bright girl with so much potential. And you have far exceeded that. Many
I have?
You have indeed. Do you not think so?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
She gives you a smile. Have faith in Saloon, Roshana.
Of course.
And more importantly, have faith in yourself. Saloon looks
Why
after
not?
those who look out for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can, you spread that out to others. A lot of Saloon's followers are they're somewhat obsessed with the future and divining. Some are obsessed with the lights that she brings. I must admit, I was a little worried.
Worried? How come?
You are what we call one of our Twilight Warriors. Twilight Warriors face the darkness head on. I was worried in the sense that you very much will be in danger. But I believe that you have the potential to face the darkness and be a light for those who find themselves stuck there.
Well, I do try my best.
I know. I know you do. Which is why I called you here.
Mhm.
The undead is rampant here in Clan Cymru, and it is spreading. Colburn as a whole is almost under this effect. Imem will fill you in on the details of the nitty-gritty, but what I want you to know is that people are going to start looking to you for guidance.
Of
They
course.
will need you to be their light. And I want you to work on having faith in yourself. All right?
All right. I will certainly try my best. It's sometimes hard.
I know. Especially when looking into the darkness.
Yes.
Well, enough dreary talk. I'm pretty certain you'll have met a couple of these individuals, but there are those, like I said, who will look towards you for guidance.
Mhm.
Those who are influenced, let's say, by the moon. Saloon looks after them too.
Sure she does.
You are going to find many of these individuals here in Colban. And beyond. And sometimes you will have to get involved when they cannot control the power that the moon gives them. From what I hear, we have a couple of those individuals nearby in one of the cities.
Oh, really?
Nothing much yet has happened, but I will keep an eye out, and you might have to be sent out.
Of course.
Alvis has told me that you have fully joined the guild.
Yeah, I have.
Yes.
And I show the ring.
Oh, lovely. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I believe after the fortune celebration that is held towards the end of the month,
Mhm.
usually they send you outside of the city at that point to do quests. So we will have to see.
Ah. That's interesting.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot happening in the city itself already, so...
This is certainly true, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
look, there are people behind you, and there are other Saloon worshippers as well. We will band together.
Of course.
So, whatever task you have at hand, you focus on that. All right?
Of course.
And if anything happens, we will let you know.
Thank you.
Alrighty. She lifts herself up from the city.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, while that was happening, the rest of you, I kind of just sat there. Alphys is kind of just tapping her foot on the ground. Imam Dufon does pass a glance over all of you from time to time. Sorry, I'm trying to fix the music, but it's not working.
I've been idly meditating.
Yeah, Vayne's just been deep in thought still.
Yep.
Not the best conversation time for Vayne. The music's fine for me, I don't.
Yeah, it seems alright.
It might be just your refreshing. You
Quite.
need a refresh.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, because I can hear it. It's very ominous, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I don't mean to
literally
be
called creepy.
rude, and this is more of a inquisitive kind of thing, but and please feel free to tell me if I'm overstepping, but Your burial practices here in Clancombry. What are they exactly? Oh, well, we offer many burial services. A lot of people wish to be buried in the grave quarter. Others are cremated. Some are not given a headstone. It depends. Also, there are numerous cemetery arboreum out there, different forests that people wish to be buried in, beneath trees or whatever other kind of flora. But before everyone is attended to, they must first be reposed. I take it from what you saw. He shares a look with Elvis. At the public celebrations, yes. Sometimes repose needs to be done extremely quickly. However, what you saw that day was definitely aberrant. It never should have happened. Which is what worries us. I can certainly fill you all in a little bit more once your friend has returned. And I think we should go for a walk through the graves just for a little bit. Do you think that's wise? It should be fine. Certainly, I have my sensor here. You see, from one of his long sleeves, he just pulls out what looks to be a very, very small sensor that is just very, very softly puffing out this white smoke.
Hmm.
Nice sensor.
Thank you.
Do you know where one might procure one of those?
We have a few here.
Or are they strictly for clergymen?
They are mostly kept for clergymen, but it depends. A lot of Vayne are given them. The powder we keep is quite special, as you'll come to find.
Hmm.
At this point, you see Roshana eventually turns up again, followed by Ilara.
Welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
Is everything all right? Oh, don't answer all at once.
What did you say?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know it was a question.
It kind of cut
Sorry.
out halfway through.
She said, "Is
Or
everything
I guess
all right?"
cut in halfway through. Okay, right. I believe so, yes.
Yes. Just waiting.
Yep, very well. Then you see she lowers herself down onto one of the podiums and just stretches her legs out. You see that cracking sound. Nothing graceful about getting older.
Hmm.
So, what's the plan? Oh, I'm going to take them on a little walk. Yes, splendid. Have fun.
Yeah. I'll try.
A walks
Get a
around
confused-
graveyard's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, like confused look.
Hmm.
Well, it'd certainly be interesting. I think that's the word for it.
Yes, there was that mist lady that was staring at us earlier, so.
Yeah, don't
You,
mind them. You'll be fine.
You coming, Roshana?
Hmm?
Are you coming with us?
Yes, of course.
She's just finishing her snacks.
I'm sharpening my butcher's knife.
Oh, ha ha.
In the mess,
why we
it
go
was
for a
Roshana
walk.
all along.
It's that scene in mafia movies where they go, "Let's go for a walk," and then you never come back from the walk.
Bring me the moats, empty and sticks.
Man walked into the most religious part of town and went, "Clergyman, eh? These clerics."
When Priestess Alara was talking about Morose, she was talking about me.
Oh my god.
All white
Oh, jeez.
Mem just begins to slowly drift past you. Well,
Follow?
Mm-hmm.
I will follow as well.
Yes.
and Rook kind of turns and sees Elvis, and you, whoever's standing beside Rook just hears, "Oh, fuck me," as Elvis stands up and begins to follow you as well. You walk out into what is now brisk night air. This mist still swirling. Mem just begins walking forward, not really waiting to see if you catch up.
Should we just all do that thing where we just stand still and wait for see how long it takes them to realise? It just keeps walking. And over there was these guys, and then it's just in the distance. Yeah. So I guess we're just following along, listening to his creepy part 2.
Yes.
Glencumry was formed after the war. The war that saw the fall of the Elenrain Empire. But previously, this city was known as Kilar'une, the City of Souls. It's where the elves used to lay their dead to rest. It was a vibrant city, beautiful, unmatched in its trees and scenery. It was a blessing to be buried here. Given that you are adventurers, I'm sure you've at least heard of the catacombs.
Yes.
Yes.
Why is it that you think we don't use them?
Well, perhaps there are spirits or the like that have a sense of ownership, more proprietary.
Or some that don't rest well.
That's mostly it, yes. For whatever reason, when the war ended, the people here could never find rest. It's been 700 years. And the people here still cannot find rest. Bodies, spirits, ashes, whatever could be found, were brought here towards the grave quarter, away from the heart of the city. Canals and rivers were built, dividing the city up into its rings and its districts. This was all done to protect people, prevent the undead from climbing out of the catacombs as they had called, well, their resting chambers for millennia. From climbing up into the streets and causing havoc. the founding king of Colburn, came to Kilar'une, asking for guidance, for help for his people, those alive and those that passed. And his family remain here to this day, praying that their souls may find rest. But for now, all we have is the grave quarter. He begins drifting on further and further in amongst the different graves, and you see the mist almost seems to part for him as he's swinging the censer back and forth.
He's the Moses of mists. He's a very old gentleman, correct?
He is a very old elven gentleman, yes.
Elven, yeah, okay. Right. I was trying to work out, like, he's talking about, like, 700 years, and I'm like, Was he there?
Might have been.
As a young lad, maybe. Because he kept using past tense when talking about the city. We'll follow along in his parted mist sea.
And you see, in amongst the mist, you see these faces now are turning towards you as you walk amongst them. You hear the slightly clumsy footsteps of Alphys behind you as she's trying to catch up. 700 years and we still do not know why.
A land
sometimes
curse.
It's called the Raikor curse. It's been commonized as, yeah, some people have difficulty pronouncing the Elvish, but basically means exiled, banished.
So it is a curse.
Yes.
But of the whole district or the whole city?
The whole kingdom.
That's a powerful curse.
Does indeed. We felt like we had contained it for some time. A few centuries ago. It seemed to wane slightly. And for once we thought we had some ground on defeating it once and for all. And yet here we are. It's at this point that the mist is just completely parted as you see these huge black wings just whoosh overhead.
Oh.
Vayne, like, pulls his dagger.
You need not worry. They mean no harm. He does look about, though. Maybe we should turn back. If they're here, it's not a good sign.
That fills me with confidence.
Who's they?
He points upwards. Give me a perception check, please, Kato.
Oh boy.
Can I aid?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. I will roll myself.
Okay.
Perception.
Ooh!
See. This is why. I didn't know this was gonna happen, but this is why.
Okay. You just
Kato.
gotta show me up. I see how it is.
That's,
Yes.
that's a big black bird.
It's a burb.
A
It's
burp.
a big burb.
Big burp.
Huge burb.
Burp. Oh. Oh. That's a big bird.
Ushers you to walk backwards. Back the way you
I
came.
walk backwards.
I think we should listen.
I start moonwalking.
Now I wish you would stay put.
Thanks, then. I
Walk
thought this
backwards.
place was all about like moonbow and stuff. I mean, come on. It's like praying, isn't it?
Well, as you're about to find out. And he continues walking and chattering, kind of to himself almost. Well, you'll have seen the symbols about here aren't quite of moonbow, are they? We managed
It's
to
not really my specialty.
trace where these spirits were flooding from. I'm not entirely sure how much you know of the planes and deities and what happens to souls when they pass, but they are going where they shouldn't. Moonbow would often look over the people here, regardless of their race, and bring them to their rest. But they're being stopped from doing so. And instead, they're being brought to the plane of darkness,
It's not good.
where the ravens fly overhead. It seems the Raven Queen has taken over.
Right, you said the plane of darkness where the ravens fly overhead, but did not a bird just fly overhead a moment ago?
That is one of our guardians here.
Oh. Wonderful.
They are flying to make sure that there is no undead about.
Ah. Good. Good.
Each day we
Good.
walk around and bless and repose as many of the souls here as we can. But look at this place. It's expansive, with 700 years worth of populace.
Yes.
We do what we can, and the Guardians take care of the rest. Our souls seem to be banished to the Shadowfell. Don't know why. The Raven Queen looks over them. But there's always a few that escape and find their way back to the material. He brings you back to where the temple was, but instead of going into the temple, he takes a right. Down one of these long buildings, just 1 story tall, slate roof. He brings you to one of the doors. The building itself, aside from a few barred windows, is just nondescript. Definitely for function than presentation. If
Not like a mausoleum then.
no. If you'll
Okay.
follow me. And he enters the building.
I look at Roshana.
Yes, Vayne?
Oh no, if
You okay?
yes, just you can go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
You did that thing with the undead person in the house. I'm yes, I just trust your
Mm-hmm.
your religion-y thing more than
Thank you.
my not.
I'll take up the rear. You see Alphys is there kind of just like rubbing at her shoulders. God, this place gives me the creeps.
Great words though, Vayne.
Thank you. It's not been a good day.
You're doing fine.
Yes, it's not necessarily me I'm worried about, unfortunately.
I know.
You're doing great too, and I'll give you a little like nudge on the shoulder and give you inspiration.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Why
Man,
are we
this music
stalling?
is-
Oh boy.
These kind of things, you kind of just need to wrap it off like a band-aid and just go.
I mean, I went in.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear
that was the first thing I said when Vayne looked at me.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
It's okay. It's okay.
I followed.
Mhm. The rest of you file in, and it's incredibly dark in here.
I've got dark vision.
I will do a boop. I will do. Let me see. Is it this? Is it this? Yes, it's this. This one.
Wait for it to work perfectly well, and then Amem Devon turns the lights on, and Kato is blind.
Suddenly, the lights turn on, and
it's like-
Kato has no eyes.
It's that age old like you've got the night vision goggles on and someone like points a flashlight at you and it's like,
Oh my gosh!
my
No.
eyes.
You continue on, and inside, it's actually an incredibly small room. There's a set of stairs immediately in front of you, and to the right, you just see a door, which seems to just head on into the rest of this long-ass building. But you see Imem is descending.
Oh, okay, that's what you meant by stairs. Sorry, I was thinking stairs up, and I was like, I swear you just said this was a single story.
Sorry.
Just like,
Oh,
wait
boy.
a minute. I was like, magic stairs? Oh my god! But no, stairs down. They can go both ways.
I mean, you never know.
Oh.
Until you know.
Indeed.
Just
Yeah,
downstairs.
at least I can see, and I'll follow Roshana.
Mhm.
I'm not like I'll stay like pretty close to Roshana, but I'm definitely letting her go first.
Grand. You walk down the steps, and you see these stairs go on for quite a while.
Mm.
You are going down, then turning, going down, turning, going down, turning, down, like
Mhm.
zigzag down these steps.
Lovely.
You have no idea how deep down you are. And it just keeps
I
getting
feel-
darker and darker
Emmit.
and darker.
We're in Paris.
I'm somehow getting the deja vu of the sewers,
Well, I mean, they were connected.
but then again, I feel like we might be even lower.
I agree.
Hmm.
I feel like in the sewers we were, a few stories down, but this is. Ugh.
We went a long way.
True.
Roshana, as you're walking forward, you see one of those beaked masks just appear a good dozen feet ahead of you.
Oh boy.
In the
I thought it was
darkness.
gonna. I thought it was gonna be like the like spooky house things where it appears next to you and Roshana's just gonna deck the.
I mean,
You see this.
No.
You see this Corvan gentleman just begins jogging up, trying to get past you. And he goes, sorry, my bad.
it's okay.
Eventually,
Don't worry.
you get down to the very bottom of the steps. And you are in a very long corridor. There seems to be rooms off to either side, but these walls are just made out of stone. Thick, heavy, black stone. And you see there are lights now. Little sconces have been lit off to the side. Imem is waiting for you all to clamber down.
Vayne is very much holding. So he's got like his the slinged case on his back.
Mhm.
He's holding the other case with one arm. He has got his hand on his dagger and the other hand on his rapier.
Mhm.
He's
Oh
like,
boy.
I'm watching
At
you.
a moment's notice, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm taking the really fucking over-prepared action.
Yep.
Is it where the necromancers of the Arcane Academy do their work? It is also where we store a vast quantity of corrupted diamonds.
Diamonds, you say?
Corrupted diamonds?
Imem turns to Albus.
Perhaps this is better your line of work.
Aye, it is. Thank you for bringing us, Imem. We can meet you back at the temple if you wish, or if there's any work you wish to do.
It's fine. I'll stick about for a moment anyway. Just check to make sure everything's all right.
Very well. Well, you're very welcome to this guided tour. It's my portion. Great. Some of you might know already that I am one of the members of the pt.2. It's one of the organizations that was set up by the Carolingian Council after the war. We are important in seeing that health, disease, and other matters are attended to throughout Akali, and those throughout Earnest as well. As you can imagine, the Raikor curse has been quite the predicament for those in Colburn for quite some time. The pt.2 were instrumental, as well as the Vayne, in setting up practices for burial to ensure that fewer people were climbing out of their graves, and we've succeeded in some respects. It seems that it's mostly the older generations now that are climbing out. Those that were close to the time of the war. But with what happened at the Public's Day, it's kind of rattled us a little bit. A man drops dead and is immediately turned. That is some serious magic that had to have done that. I fear that
Yes.
it's the Raikor curse that is causing this.
Do you think someone could have used the curse for that purpose?
The curse is its own entity, we believe. For somebody to manipulate it. Well,
I don't think they would be working alone.
well, that is certainly true, but it's terrifying to even think about. Mind you, we still have no idea how this curse came about in the first place, so we're all rather stumped. But what we do know for certain is that it is spreading.
Spreading.
It used to just happen in Kilar'une, as Emmit had mentioned, because this is where the place where people were put to rest, and then the king came and measures were put in place to try and contain it. But it has spread to quite far within the kingdom. The fear is that it will spread further into Hibernus, into northern Cadmia. And what implications that would have politically, ironically, that will have more impact than the actual curse itself. Thousands could be sent off to war, and look what happens if they die and are brought back.
Right.
Without meaning any disrespect to the dead bodies, has there been thought about the cremation of said generation?
My apologies. I should have explained. Those cremated also come back. Just in a different form.
Like, as a spirit?
Spirits,
Ghosts.
specters, wraiths, you name it.
I was accidentally muted.
Mm.
I said when Northern Cadmia was brought up, Vayne's ears pricked up.
Sure.
Yeah.
I should explain, however, look, this is all very drastic, and you're all just learning about this, and it sounds terrifying. And in many respects, it is. But, like I said, we've been putting measures in place, and it's been 700 years. It's not spreading rapidly.
But it's been here a very long time.
Indeed.
Be some sort of lichy type thing.
Probably.
Yes, I keep thinking about.
It's just when we were
I
looking.
mean, especially with fabric.
Yes, that's why I brought it up. I seem to just. I mean, I remember you both saying that it wasn't the work of a lich; it was the work of a white. In regards to Vapric specifically, but if he was working for someone, and
Okay.
that someone is a powerful lich, I mean,
It is entirely possible.
This K person he was corresponding with. We still
Didn't
don't
you
have
guys-
any. We still don't have any clear identity.
Because you guys did have someone in mind, if I recall correctly.
Someone in mind? Sorry?
Well, I thought that you guys said that there was someone you were thinking of, but not 100% sure.
in regards to the K person.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't think so.
Well,
Look, there are numerous possibilities throughout the city.
Of course.
I'm sure
I'm
anything that
thinking-
we could come up with is already gone over you, already gone through your minds.
More than likely it has, but we always appreciate any suggestions.
well, I'm thinking that perhaps this group, or whatever, that's Vapric and K are working for. Maybe they've just been in hiding all this time and have decided to show themselves.
It would certainly be a lot easier for a group of liches or a group of expert necromancers to do something of this magnitude rather than just a singular entity.
Yeah, if I
Plus,
might.
like you said, it's been 700 years. They've had plenty of time to plan and prepare.
If I might. Liches certainly have been the one to point the finger at, so to speak, when it comes to necromancy. However, at least those that I have met in my time are greedy bunch. Self-absorbed. They're hardly unlikely to work with each other.
Yes.
Well,
But with it
Lich
being
was
an
just one.
extenuating circumstance, I mean, an order of people who, as a group, choose to become liches. So before they were liches, they had come up with the plan. And obviously this would have been potentially 1,000 years ago.
And a lich is just one possibility. It could truthfully just be someone long to live with a grudge. Because like you said, and that kingdom was overtaken in the war. It's not impossible that a survivor could garner such vengeful thoughts and intentions all this time.
Indeed. My apologies, I interrupted your tour. Please continue.
So I've just one last thing is, having spent most of my life working with herbs and potions, there's also the possibility that it was some sort of a weaponized um, alchemical mixture.
Like with fabrics.
Right.
The
Yes.
Kiepslar have been studying Clanconry for some time.
Yes, I'm sure.
Its water, its foods, its burial practices, everything.
Mm.
Sorry, as I was saying, there are factors beyond just the dead as well. Corrupted diamonds, as Imam had mentioned. There's a reason that diamonds are not sold here in Clanconry. It seems that after some time, the Raycor curse seems to modify them. And you see, she.
Above game. That's gonna really suck if we ever die.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Oh,
You see,
no.
Alvis, that's her name, pulls out a fuck off size ring of keys and walks over to one of the doors and just crunches it open and
The
yanks it.
corrupted diamonds, does that affect diamonds coming in from the outside, or is a diamond simply just kept here?
Well, I'd have to get you a definitive answer. I'd need to get to one of the necromancers above, but it seems that any diamond that passes through here gets corrupted in some way or another.
Is this an instant process, or is it just...
It takes time. And you see that she opens this heavy door further, and she is using all of her strength to open it. And inside, you see there's just this little shelf upon which you see these uncut clusters of rock, which look like they should be, pure. You've been told diamonds, but they're stained. At the very core of them, it's almost brownish black.
Ew.
Mm.
I was thinking of sewage green, but that's way worse.
This
Sewage brown instead of sewage green.
Oh
Do
my
not remind me of the sewage.
Bingo.
these
still
ones
taste
have
it.
been here for about 2 months, I believe. Roughly about the 4 or 5 months process, they're completely black.
Mm.
She shoves the door closed again with a huge bang, and it's at this point that you see there's someone down the hall. They've actually just stood up away from the wall, kind of just startled by the bang. She locks the door again and motions for you to walk with her.
I follow.
It's not just diamonds or the components either that are being corrupted. Anyone who is revived, as in brought back from the dead. Roshana, I believe you're currently working on the means to do that.
Yes.
As all clerics do. Eventually, they have access to certain magics that can bring someone back from the dead. Those who are brought back from the dead within Clanconry or within the certain radius of Clanconry are affected by the Raycor curse.
What does it do to them?
Unfortunately, we thought there was an exact science behind it, but there isn't.
So it's random.
Very much so. Some people come back completely deranged, not themselves. Others come back completely fine, but after a few months they start showing symptoms of madness, fear, phobia. It's not something that we can pinpoint. Oh, Jerome, how are you? And you see, standing up against the wall, that had, the figure that had just jumped up slightly,
You see a half-elven individual dressed in black, cropped, whitish blonde hair, tan skin, and you see he's just got this smudged black eyeliner across his eyes. He seems to be holding onto a clipboard of some kind. He just nods with a slight smile on his face. Is Professor Larson there currently? He gives another nod. Is she with someone currently? He nods again. Would you be able to just give her a message that I'm here? And maybe we'll have a chat later. He gives a nod. That same smile, and just begins scribbling down on this little noteboard that he has. Albus turns towards you. This is Jerome. He's the assistant to Professor Laris. Professor Laris is the public health officer here in Clan Cymru. And for Colburn, she's also a member of the Hieptalar. She is currently speaking to one of the folks that have been brought back. It's
Interesting.
not usual that we do this. However, we had expressed permission from this individual before he passed. He also was a researcher in his time. To bring him back, I believe this is... She gives a look to Jerome to see if he'll provide a number, and he just gives her a nod.
So you're monitoring his condition.
Pretty much. It's been at least 24 times now that he's been brought back.
24.
This is
That's
extreme, as you can imagine. But it has been...
He's died over 20 times.
Aye.
That not bring with it its own issues without the curse? I mean, surely
doesn't-
repeated resurrections is not good for a brain.
It does indeed. Also, there's also a magic behind Revivify, and it also depends on how long the individual has been dead for.
So it's different for someone, say, who's been dead for a year?
Indeed. Yes.
Hmm.
So there are people who have been revivified after a minute, and others that have been revivified over a year. We also have a couple of archaeologists here that speak with certain deceased members that are currently residing within the Grave Quarter. Mostly to get a bead on what happened back then, and if there is anything at all that they can share with us.
What exactly are the requirements to revive someone from the dead? I'm not educated in that, and that seems like that would be something that's
Diamond.
incredibly Oh. Have you been using the corrupted ones? Or?
I was gonna ask that.
Certain individuals,
Well-
yes. Other test subjects, it's awful to call them that, but sometimes you have to pull yourself away from what is actually happening. Certain people, they've been using quote-unquote fresh diamonds that have been brought in and used immediately.
I was gonna ask about that.
I
So,
see, so
if an outside diamond arrives in the city, is it immediately corrupted and it just grows, or
We do
I guess
believe-
decays like a rotten apple,
We
or
do believe it is a time-sensitive thing.
is there a delay? Like, say, if a diamond passes through the city for one day, then it's fine.
It should be fine, yes.
Hmm.
Well, what
It's-
if it's near the other diamonds that are
It-
corrupted?
If it's
It's
near
not
other
like-
diamonds, it will corrupt faster, yes.
it's not like
Just like
planting a
apples.
seed where leave and then still gradually become corrupted. It's just within the bounds of the area.
As far as we know, yes.
So, if I'm understanding this correctly, a diamond arrives from outside, stays in the city for a day, and then is corrupted mildly, which will then begin to decay.
The evidence isn't exactly clear. Some diamonds are fine, some are not.
Hmm. Have you noticed a correlation between, let's say, quality of cuts or
Mm-mm.
overall? No.
Doesn't matter on the size or the shape. Whether it's cut or not, or...
The Thaw.
What about diamonds from the same source?
It's hard to tell.
It is just diamonds, correct? Like no other gems, like pearls or...
That we're aware of, it just appears to be diamonds.
Interesting. It's almost as if someone, let's say, knew diamonds' value when resurrecting the dead.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So I think now you can appreciate what a fucking mess Public Stay was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like it was something that was brewing for a while now.
Aye. And she looks at you, Roshana.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can appreciate why Priestess Alara asked that you come here.
Of course.
You have a gift to
Mhm.
do away with undead, and we ask that you use it liberally when you can.
Of course. I will.
Twilight Warrior.
That's some Sailor Moon shit right there.
I hope you last long enough to do some good.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you haven't already. I mean, you lot have been flying through the crests.
Oh.
I see I've had enough of down here. We head back up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Appreciate this, the sheriff information.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hopeful that you won't share this information with anybody else within Clan Conry, Colburn, or
course not.
beyond.
Of course. Of course.
This is a strictly
Stays
need-to-know basis.
within the guild. Right.
Indeed. Guild members now. Those who have been officiated.
Right.
But, yeah, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like being here when I don't need to be.
No? I find it kind of serene.
Now Roshana's thinking things. Like first session things.
Mm.
Hmm?
You begin.
Wait, like
First
session 0.5 or
Yeah,
session?
session 1, when we all
Okay.
got together.
Okay.
How's
not
Rook
sure-
doing?
I'm not sure what that means.
How's Rook doing?
He's just mouth agape going, ah. Ah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he was yelling at the moon, or at the sky, a while back.
Oh, no, nothing like that. There was a shooting star, and I wanted to see it.
Okay.
You
You better not get some stuff like
None of this
what we
makes
just were-
sense. Why did I come here?
Because we were invited.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I mean, why did I come to Clan Conry?
Because
Oh,
you were
well.
invited.
Yeah, that is true.
Come on, let's go.
Vayne's like the first one. So be like, yes, I'm
Uh,
happening. I
Vayne,
am
also,
out of here.
don't you think this kind of lines up with what kind of has been told about Monty?
I don't know. I've
His
been
behavior
thinking that
being weird?
potentially the idea of hanging someone in a city where the dead don't necessarily stay dead isn't necessarily a good idea.
Yeah.
But
Well, if they start just, you know, shipping all of their dead out of the city, it would raise some suspicion.
Mm-hmm.
Out of curiosity, have you tried taking the corpse of an individual from, say, out of the Grave District, out of the city, and out of what we gather, or what you gather, is the area that is affected?
You see Imem turns towards you and he goes, I'm afraid that is under strictly to no business, and he is nodding the whole time.
Okay. Hmm. Very well. Yes, let's
This is.
head back up.
Mhm.
Need another drink.
Is he nodding as like a mannerism, or is he nodding as like
As
an
in, yes,
affirmation?
they fucking have.
As in, I am
Okay.
definitely not allowed to tell you yes,
Mhm.
but yes.
Okay, that. Do I get the sense? This is a massive stretch. Do I get the sense we're under surveillance?
Give me a perception check, please.
Surveillance check.
You're on your
Perce-
own with this perception check.
Okay. Eh.
Hmm.
It is an eerie feeling. You do somewhat feel like you're being watched or at least listened to.
Odds are always watching, baby.
But you also kind of figured that, you know, from what you've heard and from what you've read, Imem Dufon just seems to be like a very high up member
I was going to say,
of the core of Vayne.
he's not.
He's probably just
he's
doing it
not
for other
resistant.
people's benefit.
Yeah. Vayne will walk back the way we came, sort of tapping in a rhythm on the hilt of his rapier, kind of like a pondering, kind of like when he's that's sort of a similar the thing to where when he's plucking the instrument on his lap when he's thinking, but obviously he doesn't have an instrument out, so he's like just tapping.
Yeah.
Tapping
Doing
like
the
his
drums on
nails
his lap,
against
basically.
yeah, kind of like tapping his nails against the metal of the hilt and kind of make a ding 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 ding.
Yeah. Eventually
Go
you.
faster! I hear banjos.
Oh my god.
Gosh.
You eventually reach the top, and even though it was quite cold down where you were, this electric air fills your lungs, and you feel a lot more alive than where you, from where you were before. Nice temples this way. You follow him,
Thank you. I'll follow along.
back to where you had left Alara. Hey, you took your time. Is everything alright?
Did the music just change?
Yes, it did.
It did. Yeah. Okay. The choir's in. Oof. Genuinely thought it was one of the dogs whining for a second.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just like, wait, what? Like half take my headset off. Vayne sort of walks in and sits down where he was sat, while Roshana and no, it's gone. While Roshana was away, and ponders to himself thus: As I say, I'm sure you've, over your long stretch, considered most options or possibilities, but what if something is, well, buried deep underneath Clan Comrie, or
We have also considered
perhaps
such a possibility.
under the ocean, like near?
We have sent many core Vayne down to the catacombs. And they also go digging further as well, where they think there might be a source of necromantic energy. As for the ocean, it is difficult. There are spirits that wander the ocean as well, affected by the curse. Again, we have sent people to those areas to find any necromantic power sources. Sometimes they find items of potential necromantic energy, but nothing of such a scale as the Raycor curse.
It is a conundrum.
You're telling me?
Yes. Sure. Well, I don't hazard to even claim any knowledge in any of these kinds of things. I'm just trying to get it into my head. It's a very... It's not something that I thought I would hear today. There's been a few of those things that I've heard today that I didn't think I was going to hear today, actually.
Well, a bit of advice. Appreciate what we've told you today. And appreciate your life.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have to go make tea. My throat is awful sore. Good night.
He bows
Good night.
and
Good night.
Thank you.
turns around to the little tea room you were just in with Alara and Roshana.
I feel like there was some bleed on that.
Certain someone
Some
needs tea.
some character bleed. How's your throat, Ray?
It's all right. Sorry.
You're doing Rook and a mom.
Yeah.
I mean, with the
A lot of
voices you've had
laughter.
to do, I can understand the need for tea.
No, I have wine. It's much worse.
Wine, yeah.
I
Wine
mean,
is
It helps.
wine is
It's
soothing.
like oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you mix the two, apparently it's not great.
Yeah, probably.
Mm.
I don't know from personal experience, but Vayne does.
Okay.
Well, what would you like to do now?
What's the so
I
how
think-
like how long did it take us to walk the like down the catacombs and all like that whole thing?
Not the catacombs necessarily, but down the
Well, yeah,
uh,
you know what I
the
mean.
area. It would have been 5 to 6 minute walk to go down all those stairs. Going up is about 10. But all in all, you've been here maybe about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Well, I personally
But
could use a drink.
I can't fault you there. I could definitely use one as well.
A strong drink.
What of your friend, Vayne? Do you know where he's been held currently?
Yes. It's in one of either the southern guardhouse or what was the other one? The guardhouse of the southern. The
Southern Guardhouse of the Southern
I thought-
Gatehouse.
yeah, it's this one. But I know that this one was also called something. No, sorry, this one.
That's the Southern Guardhouse, the last one you just pointed
Yeah.
to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that one is. Every time we talk about these two, I forget. It's literally every time. This one is the southern.
Well, if
No.
you head now, you might be able to get them before lights out.
Mm.
Or you could head off in the morning, and they'll definitely be open then.
Mm. I feel I could potentially go now and then get back to the guild. And obviously, you all don't have to come with me. But I feel getting some information tonight and then being able to sleep on it, as it were,
Of
would
course.
be useful, and then I can try and strategize for tomorrow.
Sure.
We'll go
Sounds
with
like a
you if
plan.
you want us to.
Whatever you need.
I appreciate that.
Hey, we're technically a group now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And thank you, Alice. I ring the bell. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. We'll have to get a drink at the guild sometime. We'll
Well,
do it tonight,
uh,
but
If you're back in time, you'll probably find the two of us there.
the Doolahans? The two of you?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fair enough. Big respect. Very well. We'll come to the Doolahans' house as soon as we get back and maybe play a song.
Nice. We have
And
to
have
escort you
large-
back to the front gate anyway, so come on, let's go.
Large glass of wine. Yes, thank you. So, get escorted. Yeah. Vayne's also going to be twiddling his ring.
For the sake of brevity, as soon as you reach the gate to the grave quarter, the carriage has arrived. You hop in.
Good old Diane.
You see both Alvis and Alara disappear in the flash of silver as they see you off.
Must be
Thank
nice.
you.
Must be
Must be
nice.
must be nice to have teleport on your spell list.
It's another hour or two's journey before you eventually reach the gatehouse again.
Yep. It's now 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
You are stopped at the gates, just leading into the gatehouse.
On the way there,
Mhm.
I look at the group and say, should I make use of a disguise?
I guess that depends if Maurice is there or not.
Well, it's less that and more getting through without arousing too much suspicion in regards to speaking with him. Like, recall how Luxon made himself look like the appointed lawyer of the guild. Something
Perhaps, but I guess it more depends how long you can keep that up.
Technically, an hour, and then I have to wait 6 seconds, and then I can do it again. And again. And again. I don't know. It's just an idea. And we're pulling up to the gate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you see the guards are coming round to see who is in the carriage.
I make myself look like the lawyer.
Okay. What is your business?
Hello. I can't remember what you sound like. My bad. As the law, I am the lawyer from the Adventurers Guild. I'm here to see a client, Mr. Presley Montagor.
Right.
Just for a quick word about his soon-to-be hanging.
Well, my apologies that you came all this way, sir, but Presley Montagor has been moved.
Oh, I wasn't told. Where has he been moved to?
I believe he's been moved towards the Western Gatehouse, I believe. I'm not certain.
Where's the fucking...
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh.
Is that the Western Gatehouse?
Yep.
Ah.
Oh, very well. Thank you for letting me know.
Oh my god.
I suppose I'll have to see him in the morning. You wouldn't happen to know what time or what day, I suppose, his execution is scheduled?
I'm afraid I do not, sir. My apologies.
Insight check.
Sure.
Damn. Your superiors wouldn't know either, I assume.
He is telling the truth.
Dang it. I assume so. Your superiors wouldn't happen to know, would they? He is my client. I kind of need to know. If it's tomorrow morning, then it's a bit of an issue.
I appreciate that, sir. Unfortunately, most of the superiors are home.
Yes,
given the
of
late
course.
hour.
Yes,
I
of
can
course.
have a word sent out to them.
Oh no, don't worry. I'm heading towards that way anyway, so I shall. I maybe pop in the morning when I get out of the guild. I have some things to discuss with the heads.
Very well.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
My apologies again, sir, that you came all this way.
Oh, it's not your fault. But thank you very much. Goodbye. Diane, if you could take us back to the guild, please.
She is staring wide-eyed at you right now, and she just...
I've just got this shit-eating grin, like, just do what I can say, please.
I mean, it's not like... It's not like we knew this would happen.
She plops on the horses, and they carry off into the night, and I think we'll finish there for tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we do one more thing before we finish?
What?
Can I lean out of the window, like drop disguise after we've left the guardhouse, and drop disguise? Go. Thank you, Diane. That's appreciated.
I'm remembering your face, and I'm remembering your name. I'm never picking you up again.
Fair enough.
We'll be sure to tip you extra.
Alrighty.
Yeah, thanks for playing.
Modify memory.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. So much in one session.
Jesus. Okay.
That was heavy as fuck.
Damn.
Sorry for keeping you up so late, Roshana. It was just...
Oh, that's okay. I'm free tomorrow. My
Just trying
training
to move
has
people
been
along.
moved to Monday.
Oh, good.
So I can sleep
So what you're saying is
in.
we
Rest
can
day.
go another hour?
No.
No.
No. I also feel like that would be bad for Rook himself.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it was a lot he wasn't here for.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame. Why move though? I mean, jeez.
I mean, Rook will be like, "Why is Roshana looking at me funny?" Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Wait, I'm confused. What's with Rook?
The first session, I think it was the
11
first or the
inch.
second,
Oh,
he kind of passed out, and I did spare the dying, I think, or a healing spell. I don't remember,
Yeah,
but
you got him back on his feet.
yeah, when he
yeah.
was axed.
So like, quick
Oh.
thinking, Roshana's like, "Oh no, oh no."
I think. Oh, I.
Not technically a
Did he
resurrection.
wait? Did he go unconscious?
He
Yeah,
did,
yeah.
Mhm.
yep.
He got basically
did.
one shot by an axe. But he
Yeah.
I
he
forgot
didn't
about that.
technically die, he just went unconscious.
Yeah, unconscious.
And to be fair,
'Cause-
Vayne's gone unconscious a lot.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, we already know Vayne is crazy in the head, so
True.